To video 7 of stringr processing. In this video we're going to look at grouping and backreferencing. So we're going to use the built-in data set called fruit. So if you look at fruit, it's got a bunch of different fruits out there. So we will look at that and we can view. What we're going to do is we're going to look for any two letters, and then when we use the one, we're referring back to the first grouping that occurred, so the first thing in parentheses. So this says those same two letters repeated again. Oh, let's do our match equals true. Always forget that. We can see what happened is any two letters that get repeated again is what it catches. But they have to be repeated immediately after, right? There's no dot asterisk in between to say they could be repeated later. Okay, so think about, we're going to look now at these different expressions, and I want you to think about in advance what you think each one of them is going to do before we try it out and see if you're correct. Okay? So I'm going to remind myself of what was in X, and I'm going to try that first grouping that we showed and view. Nothing comes up. Why? Well, see here, when I'm referring to that previous number, I have to use the double backslash to do that. So let's try it again. This tells me it's going to repeat whatever character it is, that same character is going to be repeated twice immediately after. So I get those three matches. So now I'm going to play around with the fruit data set. And if I do fruits, what does this say? I've got any letter followed by any other letter, but then it's going to take that second entry and repeat it, and the first entry and repeat it. So you see I have EP, PE, EP, PE. Okay? The next one I want to try out, what does this say? Any two letters followed by a letter. It doesn't have the backslash, so I don't think this is going to get me anything. Let's try it again with a double backslash there. So that means one letter in between. So I have PE something, PE. I have ER anything, right there's my anything, followed by that same two-letter pattern. I could do the same sort of thing, and I could say, okay, now I want, what is this one going to do? Any letter followed by any letter, but then I repeat that first letter. I can have anything I want. Doesn't have to be the second one. It could be anything I want, and then the same first letter. See, I have an A followed by something, an A followed by something, and the A. The same thing happens here. Here you see, though, instead of that N be repeating twice, I have two different letters there. Now, the last one I'm going to try is going to be, let's see, I have any letter, a possibly second letter, third letter, followed by any number of letters in between, but then I have to repeat in reverse order the third one, the second one, and the first one. And I get no matches. Let's see if I got any matches if I used words. Yes, I do. Because I have the P, A, R, and then I have some other stuff, and then I have them in reverse order. R, A, P. Okay? So, using this same sort of thing, you're going to do exercise 9. And here again, you're going to have 3 separate exercises within this one exercise, but you're going to use regular expressions to find words that First off, start and end with the same character. The next one is going to be contain a repeated pair of letters. For instance, the word church has CH repeated twice. And these are all in your words data set. The third one, contain one letter other than E that is repeated in at least 3 places. For instance, the word appropriate contains 3 P's. So that one ought to pop up in your when you're testing that out. Okay, so that will conclude video 7 of our set. Come back for video 8 where we'll talk about various string tools. So we'll talk about an overview of the different verbs, common verbs in the string package.